Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you
Hello.
all? Welcome. Welcome to day 2, week 2 of the video editing masterclass for beginners. Okay, cool. So today, we're just going to go through editing the process of another video. I'll walk you through that. And if you guys have any questions, please just let me know. Also, there's a lot of things we won't cover in this video because there's just so many more advanced techniques and ways to do things. But if you ever have any questions or you've always wondered like how to do something specific, like, oh, how do I don't know, but like whatever comes to mind, just ask me and I'll see if it's a simple thing to explain, because it might be extremely simple and I just didn't think of covering it here. If it is more complicated, I might show it if we have time. If not, then we can figure that out over time. But just please ask me a question. Let me know what you guys are looking for in this. But anyway, we will, I guess we'll start right now. So I will share my screen. Let me make sure it's for sound and video. There we go. All right. So today we are going to start straight away in HitFilm. Are you guys able to see my screen? The HitFilm screen right here?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, cool. You're not seeing any other desktops, right? I mean, it's not like there's anything on them, but
No, just hit Film Express
cool.
opening page.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So once again, we're going to go through this. So in order to start a new project, we're going to go over here to New and click the New button. And since all our footage this time is recorded in 720p HD, 23.976 frames per second. So that's what we will click on. And then, we will go to OK. And then let it load. It can take some time. It might not, but anyway. So now we have the project open. It's an empty file. There's not really much to do right now. But if you go to the files that I sent in the chat, the WeTransfer files, go ahead and download those. Inside that file, there should be a zip.
I missed that little part. Can you repeat that?
The files, they are in the chat. So I sent the chat.
The setting of the environment to start.
Oh, how to start the environment? Sure. I'll go back. Oops, that was too far back. Okay. So make sure you click on HitFilm Express. It'll open up at some point. Then once you get here to this opening screen, it should say something like, it should have a bunch of like weird ads or something right here, but all related to film. Anyway, you go over here to the top left and click New. That's where you start the a new file related to HitFilm. And then for template, you would go right here, click the drop-down menu, and go to 720p HD at 23.976 FPS or frames per second, as we talked about in the last session. So you click that. If that doesn't show up for you, sometimes there's like nothing shows up. And another easy way to do that is actually just go over here and change it yourself to 1280 by 720 pixels, just to make it simple for us. Most stuff nowadays is in 1080, which is 1920 by 1080 pixels. But because I don't know how powerful your computers are, we're doing everything at 720 because it's a lot less to handle than 1080p in the scope of computers and video editing. So anyway, once we get there, we just click OK, and then it brings you straight to the workspace that you have here, and you can see the timeline right here. There's a viewer right here, and then here's your menu bar, which is like media effects, controls, history, all of that stuff. And then over here, if you had something in your media, you would click it and it would appear here so that you could see it before you edit it in the viewer. Anyway, so I sent into the chat the WeTransfer files. So if you go and download the stuff from that link, there is a zip file inside that. And inside the zip file, there should be a folder called Masterclass Week 2. And inside that, there are only 3 files. There's one that's titled Exported Video. There's one that's titled Secondary Clip. And then there's something that's titled Zoom0002_LR.wave or WAV. That's just the audio that we are going to be syncing up with the video that we are going to edit today. So you might think, oh, this is only a couple things to edit. Well, we're going to go into some other special things in order to get more footage to work with today. So for now, all we have to do is we'll take a look here. If you guys can see this, I'm inside this folder. I'm going to highlight all 3 of the files inside there, and I'll drag it into the import area. Another way to import is go over here and actually click import, and then navigate through here into the file wherever it is located, which for you, it should be on your desktop or in your downloads. And then you can just highlight them all and click open. But I'm going to click cancel because I already imported them. Now, once we get here, since everything is already set for us, we can bring in our exported video into the video and audio track right here. Okay. We're not going to work with logos today because you should know how to do that. You just plug it in like we did last week. You can look at the video from last week and it'll show you how to just put the logo in, which is just essentially another video. But today we'll just fade directly into this. So right now, let's just watch through the video. Like I always say, we always have to watch through the entire thing before we start editing. So let's just watch it right now. Let me try something here. So, okay, and action.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again. I'm out here in the freezing cold to give you a video for homework. That's right, you guys have to edit this video. I don't know why Eljasz is dragging me out here again. There's so many other videos that we filmed that honestly would be better for editing. For example, there have been those times where we traveled out to the lake and been able to take some beautiful shots over there. We did a video over there. There's other videos actually that we have planned for the future. For example, like playing video games together, streaming Twitch, or being able to do a cooking show together. That's something we hope to do in the future. I'm excited to see what ideas that you guys have. One of the things that Eljasz and I often do to keep ourselves busy in the pandemic is that, well, I don't drive because, you know, I'm lame, but he drives. He drives the Mustang and it's right over there, as you can see. But if you guys have favorite cars, now is the time to edit it into the video because Eljasz just loves cars and he told me specifically that you guys have to add a car to this video. I don't know why. There's so many other things that I could tell you to add, but honestly, now is the time to add your own hobby, some picture or something that you like to do, maybe some video of yourself. This would be the time to insert it while my voice is still going. Do we have enough footage, Eljasz?
I believe we do. Thank you.
Wonderful. Now we are done with this videos and I can go back inside. You're not cool. Get away from me. Get away.
Okay, so there's the video that we have to edit today. It was just a random video. Everything that Nate said was off the cuff. I didn't ask him to say anything specifically, even if he said that I asked him to say that. All I said to him was say something and ask them to edit certain random things. And so he picked stuff and you guys are going to have to put those things in there. So, and I'll walk you through it, but you guys can pick whatever you want to put in those spots that we have available for you. So I'll walk you through the first part and then I'll walk you through how to get footage from the internet and see what we can do there. So first things first, we brought the file in. We're good here. Next, we want to actually get the good audio from my external microphone and replace the audio that we have from the camera itself. As you could hear, the camera audio was kind of fuzzy. It had a lot of background noise, like all the cars passing by, everything like that. But the audio from my external is not that noisy. So here's an example of how different they are. So here's how this one sounds.
Homework. That's right. You guys have to edit this video. I don't know why Eljasz.
So, and then the zoom 002 LR wave, this one sounds like this.
There's so many other videos that we filmed that honestly
I would think it sounds a lot better. It is quieter, that's true, but we can always boost that later. So what we're going to do now is bring this into the timeline right here and put it directly below. And we're going to line it up to make sure that they are in the same time so that they're not echoing each other. So right now you'll hear that it sounds weird.
Gosh is dragging me out here again. There's so
you can hear one echoing the other. So right now we're going to zoom in a bit and look in here. Right here, and take a look at the peaks and the troughs, which right now we can't really see them too well because it was a pretty quiet audio track. Well, we still can't see it very well, so we're gonna have to do this by ear. So this means that I heard that the quieter one was delayed. So I'm gonna bring this this way a little bit and see how they line up now.
Let me try something.
Okay. Can't tell which one's first. Let's keep listening.
Let me try something here. So
I still think this one is slightly ahead. So let's see if I move this one back a little bit again.
okay, and
Oh, that was a little farther. So I think it has to go back the other way to try to line it up.
action.
Okay, that was still a little bit off. I'm gonna do another 2 frames.
Action.
Oh, that was even closer. That's better.
Hey there, everyone.
Nope. So that's still a little bit off there. Let me try to move it here.
Hey there, everyone.
Oh, okay. But what I can see right here is this. This peak right here should match up probably with this one. That's what I'm guessing here. So let's see how this one sounds. Move it back a little bit here. Let's see.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan.
So that sounds, I think, a lot better. Also, whoever is creating feedback, I don't know who it is. Let me see. I just want to make sure that unless you have like a question, please stay muted, because then sometimes it causes some weird stuff. Okay. But yeah, if you have a question, go ahead and unmute and then just ask your question. That's fine. Okay, so right now we can hear that they are a lot more lined up than they were before. Okay, we have a new person joining. Welcome. So we're gonna do this.
It's Nathan again. I'm out here in the freezing cold.
So now that we have the good audio in there, we can actually get rid of the old bad audio. So I'm going to zoom in over here just to make sure that these things are all lined up, the video and the audio. Right here, obviously, I can't extend the audio into the past before it was recorded. So I'm going to actually just shorten the video and make it so that it matches up with the audio here. And then I'm going to scroll all the way to the end and do the same thing here. The video I can't extend, so I'm going to shorten the audio and bring it to equal the length of the video right here. Okay, so now since they're lined up already, I'm going to unlink these by right-clicking and clicking unlink. I will off-click, so click in the white area, then click back on the audio so I can just delete it by pressing the backspace or delete button, and then bring this back up so that it matches with this one. Highlight them both, right-click again, and then click link so that they are now part of the same quote-unquote file. So now everything I do to the top one will also be done to the bottom one, such as moving it around, whatever the case might be, as opposed to in the past, when they were not linked, if I move the top one, it won't move the bottom one. If I move the bottom one, it won't move the top one, and that's not good for this type of video because you want to be able to make sure that his lips match the audio. So I'm going to undo that so that I can link them together again. So once again, we highlight them both and then link it. And now that they're linked together, they will move together. So now let's listen to see how that sounds.
Let me try something here. So, okay, and action.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again.
I personally think that this audio sounds a lot better than the other one did. So, well, all I did right here to make it a little louder, because it was this volume before, which was pretty quiet. But so what I did was I just boosted it and made it 12 decibels rather than 0, which is what it was before. 0 just means like unity. It's as in like, that's how it was recorded. Okay, so whatever volume it was recorded at, it might be like 100% or 0% or whatever it might be. That'll appear as 0 in the file, because 0 is what it's recorded as. Anything lower is less than what it was recorded as, and anything more is boosted more than what it was recorded as. So right now we'll just boost it 12 decibels, which I think makes it sound at a pretty good level.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again.
As a rule of thumb, if you look over here on this side right here where it says meters, you don't really want your peaks, as in the loudest part of your voice or the videos or whatever, to really pass -3 decibels. I mean, it can go above that rarely, but you don't really want it to hit the top, because if it hits the top, it cuts and it makes a weird, it feels weird. It doesn't sound right. And sometimes, especially if you're wearing headphones, it'll sound like something's like banging your ear. So it's not a very good thing. And a lot of times, like, I don't know if you've ever been in like a Zoom call and someone's mic was like extremely loud and it felt really loud in your ears. Yeah, that's kind of why, because it was the gain or the volume was like too loud for the file. So yeah, sometimes like that, it's pretty weird. But anyway, so right now we have the two files linked. So we have the video and the audio. I do have a message over here saying my audio video will not drag over. Are you talking about the WAV file?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what you can do back then, here, I'll just undo to get to that spot where you are. Okay. So I imported the original video, the video that has the bad audio. Okay. All you have to do now is drag the Zoom LR wave file, right? And don't put it over here in audio 1. Actually go down and drag it to this spot right here. Okay. And once you go there, just let it go and it'll automatically create an audio 2 track. If that doesn't work, I can show you a different way, but that's the common way to do it. Did that work for you this time?
No.
No? Okay, then I'll show you a different way. So another way to do it is go over here to audio 1 and right click it and click insert track. It'll create an audio 2 track. And then you can just go ahead and drag it from there, from your import area to audio 2. Instead of automatically creating another track, just put into the one you just created. Did that one work?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, we can line it up, which I will have to do again here. That's okay. Which I think it's right about here. Let's hear how this one sounds. Again, action.
Hey.
Oh, that was not that. It's more like here. All right, so let's see. Zoom in a little bit here. Okay, let's see how this one sounds.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again.
I think we got it even better this time than last time. So anyway, I'm going to unlink the previous one, click off, delete the old track, link these two tracks like I showed earlier, then bring it up so that it lines up, that they're in the same plane of existence, which is what I'm calling it, and then change the volume to make it louder so that we can hear it better.
Hey there, everyone.
And it sounds pretty decent. Okay, so now I'm going to just bring it to the front, to the beginning, and then what I think we should do is cut it or shorten it so that it ends up being the length, like let's cut it to where we want the video to start. Okay, so I want it to start after I say action. So I'm going to play it until then. Let's see.
Let me try something here. Go. Okay, and action.
So right there is when I want it to start. So I'll move it back a couple frames, and then I will shorten this, which I actually forgot to do the lining up of the audio and video clip. So I'm unlinking it just to shorten this so that it lines up here. I'm also going to do that to the end, just to make sure that they are the same length. I'm going to link them again. I did this earlier, but when I undid everything to go back to the other thing, I forgot to do it. But so now we're going to go there and then shorten this by, if you go to like the beginning of a clip, you'll see this little like green bracket that appears. Your mouse will change into that. What you do is click and drag, and it'll actually allow you to shorten your clip to the link to the spot that you wanted to start. So now if we press play,
Hey there, everyone.
it goes directly into where we want it to be. So I'm going to drag that back to the beginning so that it starts exactly right at the beginning.
Hey there.
And that's where the video will start now. So like I mentioned before, normally you don't want a video just to start suddenly. It's kind of weird. So what we're going to do is add a fade. So, or a dissolve for video. So I'm going to go over here to effects in this toolbar area, go to effect and type in dissolve. And I will use a cross dissolve and I'll drag that to the video clip. And now when we play it,
Hey there, everyone.
it slowly fades from black into the video. I'm also going to do the same thing basically for audio, and it's called a fade for audio. It's a crossfade. So I'm going to grab the crossfade and bring it over here to the audio section, and it's going to slowly fade the volume of the audio from 0 to whatever it is when we start playing. So it goes.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again.
So there we go. It's nice. It doesn't have like a choppy sound or choppy look to it. And we're going to basically also check the end. Where do we want the video at the end to end?
Question.
Sorry, what's up?
Quick question. The fade of the audio, should it be the same length as the crossfade of the video?
It can be. It really depends on what you're trying to do. In the case of this video, yeah, I think it can be the same length. But there are times where in a lot of videos where I've had different lengths because, say, for example, the audio doesn't start until later in the video, but I still want the visual to happen. I will make the fade longer on the audio end of the things. But it really depends. So it's up to you with like, artistic or practical discretion.
Okay, thanks.
But yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, just make sure
Hey
it
there,
works for what you
everyone.
need.
It's Nathan again.
So that one faded nicely. Now let's see, where do I want this video at the end to end? I kind of like that ending thing where he's running away. I think it's kind of funny. So what I'm going to do actually is make that a separate thing. It's going to happen after it fades to black, and then it'll go and do like a funny outtake, quote unquote thing. I mean, this is not an official video. It's not being used anywhere, but I thought it would just be kind of cool to get experience in like doing compilation, quote unquote, things like this. So I'm going to go over here and see where he actually finishes talking about things, and I'll cut it there.
While my voice is still going. Do we have enough footage, Eljasz?
I believe we do. Thank you.
Wonderful! Now we are done with his videos, and I can go back inside.
Okay, so right here is where I'm just going to take my little blade right here, or it's actually called the slice tool, but I like calling it the blade because it looks like a little razor blade. And I'm going to go over here and zoom in so that we can see exactly where we want to cut. And I will cut it right there. And then now change it back to my my little pointer tool or selection tool so that I won't accidentally cut more things. And I'm going to drag this away from it. We're still going to use it, but for now I'm dragging it away so that I don't accidentally do anything else to it. So in this case, now when I zoom in, I can grab the crossfade again so that we can fade out the audio at the end, and go to dissolve and grab the cross dissolve so we can fade out the video at the end.
We have enough footage, Eljasz.
I believe we do. Thank you.
Wonderful! Now we are done with his videos, and I can go back inside.
So it faded out, and that's that. Okay, a couple things that happen in the video that I want to have some footage be put in those spots. So let's go find what he says.
Everyone, it's Nathan again.
So right at the beginning here, I would like us to put a title, so his name. So I'm going to put his name over here so that we know who's speaking, or over here, because over here it's darker, over here it's lighter. We might not be able to see the light colored words. You can use any color words, but I happen to like lighter colored words on screens. You don't really, basically, you only want to use white or black on a screen. Any other color, they don't really look good unless it's on purpose. Like you're trying to put like a red word because of a reason that you're putting red word, right? But for the most part, it's kind of frowned upon, and it doesn't really look good to have anything other than black or white as text on the screen. So anyway, here, I'm going to find a good spot to start putting in his name. Let's see.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again.
So right here, probably right when he says Nathan, I'll put his name right over here on the left side. So I'm going to grab the little A over here in the viewer area, click this A, and then just click where I want it to be. So I'm going to put Nathan, Nathan V. That's his name. So I will put that there, and then change this back to the little selection tool, which is the little pointer thing, like a little mouse pointer. Click that. So now we can actually move it around, but I actually liked where I put it, so I'm going to just leave it there. So now we have to figure out where we want it to start and where we want it to end. So in order to add the correct dissolve in and dissolve out. So let's see where we want it. I think it starts in that spot, but let's see where we want it to end.
Nathan again.
Nope, it actually starts a little bit earlier because he says Nathan just before that.
And it's Nathan again. I'm out here in the freezing cold to give.
I think we should have it fade out right when he says I'm out here, but before he says in the freezing cold.
I'm out here in the.
Yeah, so right there it should basically fade out. That was about 3 seconds or so on the screen. So I think that's a good enough time for people to understand that that's his name. So we're going to go over here, put our cross dissolve, shorten the cross dissolve so that it doesn't take too much time to appear on the screen. And now let's watch it and see what happens.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again. I'm out here in the freezing cold.
There you go. So now you notify people that, hey, this is Nathan. He's talking, right? It's just a reminder because not everyone hears names. It's kind of funny, but it helps when you see something visually and hear it at the same time. So it reminds people who's on the screen. Anyway, let's continue watching and see where else we need to put something.
To give you a video for homework. That's right, you guys have to edit this video. I don't know why Eljasz is dragging me out here again. There's so many other videos that we filmed that honestly would be better for editing. For example, there have been those times where we traveled out to the lake.
Okay, so over here, I actually forgot to get this video of the lake, but that's okay. We will figure that out. But basically, what I would like to put here is some footage of us at the lake when we were doing our vision retreat with North Shore, the leadership teams. So we actually walked on a frozen lake. It was very, very cool. So actually, what I'm going to do now is walk you through how to get that video. Okay, so I created a video back in last year. And what we did was I created like a recap video of that. So I'm going to go to North Shore on YouTube, go to North Shore SDA Church, and I'm going to actually find that video. So let's see. These are all the videos North Shore has done. I'm going to go back about a year to the video of our vision retreat. So this was back. Oh, that was way too far back. It was May. Go all the way over here. So February. Okay, here. North Shore Church Vision Retreat Review. Okay. So this is what we showed to the church. It's happened to actually be the week before COVID. So that was kind of interesting. But anyway, so I'm going to click that video. It was a pretty cool time we had out there. And as you can see here, we walked on here. Let's just see. Walked on a frozen lake. See, that's our pastor. So anyway, I'm going to actually take footage from this video that I already finished a long time ago, and I'm going to put it in this new video that we're making because Nate mentioned that we went and we were on a lake. So I need to put some sort of reference as to what this lake looked like. I just can't say it because people are going to be like, oh, what did that lake look like? I'm curious now. So I'm going to actually just copy this link, and I'm going to go over here and type in y2mate.guru. Okay. So I just want to give a quick disclaimer. Be careful. This website has a lot. I mean, actually, basically any website that you could like download YouTube videos with has a lot of like weird ads and stuff. So I currently, especially since we're screen recording right now, I'm using an ad blocker so that I won't be able to see any ads. But just be careful. Don't click on anything that I wouldn't click on. I'll show you what is good to click on, but basically anything else, don't click there. Anyway, so what you want to do now is once you go there to y2mate.guru, you go ahead and just paste the link from YouTube into that bar. So now the cool thing is it gives you a few choices. So it gives you 720p MP4, which is technically what we will be using today, actually, because we are using things in 720. It gives you a 360 version, which is lower resolution than 720, and then it also gives you a 1080p version of it, which is higher resolution than 720. It also says right here, it shows muted. There's no speaker there. That means that all the audio, if you click this version, it actually won't come with audio. The good thing for us is that we don't care about audio in this case. All we want to do is show the video of what happened there. So actually, I want to download the 1080p version. Another thing is that if you want just audio, or if you got no audio with the 1080 version, but you also need the audio, but you want the highest resolution, you can actually just click get audio, and then it'll let you download the audio file separately from the video. I don't know why it does this, but anyway, this has been the newest and easiest way to download YouTube videos in my experience. So anyway, I go here, I'm going to download the 1080 version, but you can go ahead and download the 720 version. And so it'll bring up something like this, which, yeah, this doesn't look like it's a downloaded file, but if you go down here to the bottom right, the 3 dots, click download, and it'll actually download the video that you were expecting to download in the first place. So this will take a few seconds, depending on how fast your internet connection is, or like me, if you're streaming currently. So anyway, I'm going to just close out of that and go to my downloads folder, and I'm going to drag, here, I'll just show it here. And I will drag this file that I just downloaded into Masterclass Week 2 folder, the one that we were messing with today for our video. So we've got that file. I dragged it in. So now I'm going to drag the video playback MP4, which is the one we downloaded. Actually, I'm going to just rename it first. I'll name it Frozen Lake. Okay. And now once I do that, I'm going to drag this into our media import area. Okay. So now I'll be able to use this file in this video. Okay. So now if I go over here to Frozen Lake, I'm going to drag it on and put it right here, because this is kind of where I wanted to start. But the thing is, look, there's all this logo stuff. We don't need any of that. So I'm going to, first off, just mute this track so that we don't hear anything. I can talk while I'm scrubbing through. And right here, as you can see, there's this area. I want to actually get some footage of people walking on the lake. So I'm going to skip over to where I personally know that there are a lot of things where people are walking on the lake. So let's see. I think it's past all this. He does a lot of recap for the retreat, which takes a little bit. Okay, and then it goes all the way over here to where we were walking on the lake. More of us were. So I'm going to go right there, and I'm going to drag. I made it shorter, and I'm dragging all that video over here. So this is what we are going to be working with, this section right here, which is still too long. We don't need that much. So what I'm going to do is, let's see how this looks. I'm going to use this part where the 3 guys are walking in slow motion. It looks weird because, first off, it's still too large. So if I go to controls here, I can see the scale. The original 1080p file was this big, but I had it cropped a little bit because it was a certain aspect ratio I was looking for. An aspect ratio is the amount of black bars on the screen, basically. So I actually don't want those black bars in this video. So I'm going to make it big enough so that it actually fills our screen. And now when I play it, it might stutter a little bit because I'm streaming, but let me just put it lower and see how this works. I wonder if this works now. Make it short enough. Let's see. Yep, I have them walking, and that was it. So I don't want the text to appear on the screen, so I'm going to cut it before the text, and we'll see how much of this we actually need to use when we talk about it. So I'm going to delete the rest. We don't need it. And now let's hear where he said what he says and where I need to put the video of the frozen lake. Let me unmute him first of all. There we go.
To edit this video. I don't know why Eljasz is dragging me out here again. There's so many other videos that we filmed that honestly would be better for editing. For example,
so he says, for example, and I think it's going to be right there very soon. So let's see.
There have been those times where we traveled out to the lake.
It's out to the lake. So it's a little bit closer this way.
to the lake and been able to take some beautiful shots over there. We did a video over there.
So now that we have that there, I think that was just about the right amount of footage in that spot. So what we'll do is just take the effects and cross dissolve in, cross dissolve out, so that it fades on and doesn't just suddenly chop into that area. And so now we'll see that when it actually gets when it actually is finished, we will do I just had to change something there. Let's hopefully it runs smoother.
Out to the lake and been able to take some beautiful shots over there.
It still doesn't, but that's okay. That's fine. It'll work fine once it's exported. It'll look good. But until then, we'll have to deal with a little bit of a choppy footage on my end, at least. Yeah. So I'm going to mute this again because it bothers me. Except, actually, hold up. We need to find out what we need to put next on the screen. So let's listen to him.
There, we did a video over there. There's other videos actually that we have planned for the future. For example, like playing video games together, streaming Twitch, or being able to do a cooking show together. That's something.
Okay, so the next two things we need to find are clips of someone streaming, so some video games, and we need to find some clips of a cooking show. So these two, we have done some video gaming streams, but I don't have any of that footage on me right now, so I'll find someone else's, and then I'll also find someone else's cooking channel because we haven't done that either. So let's see. I'm going to get my Google Chrome out again, and I'm going to just search on YouTube, and we'll do the same thing like last time where we did. We just looked for something random and then went to y2mate.guru and see what happened. So I'm going to pick what video game will I pick? Let's pick something like old school, maybe Super Mario Bros. Okay, well, let's do the original one right here. Oh, that's a little too long. I don't want to have to download a super long video. So let's do here, 10 minutes. There we go. That's much shorter. There we go. So this is an original video of NES gameplay. So that's Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo Entertainment System. Let's go over here to y2mate.guru, paste the link in this spot right here, and let's see what options it gives us. It can take a moment sometimes. So the highest resolution we have is 480p, but that's fine. Let's take it. Don't use the WebM version. It's a little complicated to edit that, and I don't really like that file. But anyway, we have here MP4, and it's great. That's the type that we need to use. So let's get the 480 MP4. So click download here, and sometimes it will actually just create a download for you, but this time it didn't. You go over here to the three dots, click download, and now the download has been created. So now that we're done with that, we can go back over here into our folders. If I can find my folder again. Okay, so here's my folder, and then here's my download. So I'll drag my downloaded file from there. I don't need this one anymore, and I don't need this one because I dragged it here. And I will rename it video game. Okay, and now that we have that file, I'll drag it into my media and put it in here. I don't want that to appear here. Okay, so now since we have my video game thing, I'm going to bring it over here and put it where he says video game. Thing is, look, this is much smaller than the actual size. So what we can do is actually enlarge it, make it a little bit bigger. It won't look as amazing as if it was in 1080 or 720. But the thing is, that game never looked extremely amazing in the first place. So it doesn't really matter how good it looks in your video. So where do I want it? I want it in a spot where the guy's actually playing the game. So let's see over here. Like he was on the main menu over here. We don't need that. What we do want is this, where he's actually running across the screen and doing some stuff there. So that's the section I will use. I'm going to grab my little blade tool and cut right here, and then just cut a couple seconds after that. I won't need any of the rest of the video. So I'm going to click on it and delete with my delete key or my backspace key. Let's see where that works. Let's see where we want to put this. So I'm going to let this play out with his voice.
Example, like playing video games.
Right there. He says playing video games. So I'm going to do the same thing here.
Video games.
Right there. So drag it back a little bit again.
Like playing video games.
Yeah. So he said playing video games together.
Streaming Twitch or being able to do a
Okay, he is streaming
being able
Twitch
to-
or being able to do a cooking channel. So I'm going to do it right before he says being able to do a cooking channel, because we'll fade into the cooking channel right after that. So at this point, we'll see that we have the video right here, and this one will play as this goes, but we want to make it big enough that it fills the screen. So what we'll do is go over here to controls and go over here to scale and use the scale thing and drag it up till it fills the screen top wise. Okay, but the thing is, there's still stuff on the side here. In a moment, I will go over how to get rid of the stuff on the side here. We want to preserve the aspect ratio. If you make it widescreen, it looks a little weird and sometimes can look stretched. So we want to preserve that it looks like an old school game. Okay, so right here, I can go back here and put a couple cuts into the actual footage, the real footage that we're talking about here. So I'm going to cut here and cut at the end of that video. Okay, so now we have this little section of video that's separate from this one and this one, which is they're all the original. So I'm going to actually, this is weird, but I'm going to unlink this section from the audio. So that means I can completely delete the video in that area, but the audio stays the same. So we can still hear him.
Like playing video games together, streaming Twitch, or being able to do a cook.
I can still hear him while this thing is running right here. So what I want to do also is create a fade. So I'm going to actually just very slightly, well, first off, zoom in. I'm going to lengthen this one just a little bit and then lengthen it over here at the end. And I will add the dissolve now. So if I go to effects, I add the cross dissolve, add it here, make it a little bit shorter. And then go over here at the end and do the same. Put it over here and make it a little shorter. And then now play it through and see how this looks.
For example, like playing video games together, streaming Twitch, or being able to do a cook.
So now if you could see, I was able to just play it through, and you see that it smoothly dissolves and transitions into the video of the game happening, and then it transitions back into Nate talking to the camera. Right after that, he starts talking about a cooking channel. So let's just look up a cooking channel. I don't know what that would be, but let's see. I'm going to search for, does anyone have any suggestions? Food? I don't know. If you do, go ahead and say it, but if not, I'll just randomly search
Food
something.
Network is one.
Food Network. Okay, let's do that. All right, let's see. Are there any like super quick clips? Let's see, like a small one. You know what? This one's only 3 minutes long. Let's see how that looks. Let's take that.
I am making scalloped potatoes. They're gonna be cheesy, creamy. To start,
Let's do something that has her like on the camera. So this is,
and then I'm gonna get some nutmeg.
so that's the area we would probably use when we download it. So let's go and download it. Go to y2mate.guru. Go ahead and paste that in again. As you can see, this is kind of just the way that I download stuff. It's pretty simple that way. See, the 1081 is a WebM. We don't have to worry about that now. But what we did find is that there's another 1080. That's an MP4. You can download that one. We can also download the 720. For you, 720 might work best, but for me, it just makes it easier to show you if I just download the 1080. So I'm going to do that again over here. See, this is an ad that popped up. Do not touch that. Go ahead and leave that. See, this is what we're actually looking at, the video. So 3 dots again, download. We're going to do the same thing as we did last time. Go over here and get your, oops, oh, hold up. There we go. Get our folder over here, drag our new video, our cooking class video. Let's see. Cooking class, and title it cooking or something of the sort. And make sure that this is on media over here. And then I will drag my cooking into the import area. And now we can put this on the timeline. So I'm going to minimize this now to get it out of the way. And then I'm going to drag cooking into that area where he starts talking about cooking. Actually, I want to make sure that it goes directly from the video game straight into cooking without seeing Nate's face again. Okay. So what we're going to do is zoom out a bit, find the spot where it's just the girl talking to the camera. So I'm going to try to find that area. Let's see how that looks. Okay. So she's talking to the camera right about there. So I'm going to, drag. Oh, first off, I guess I got to get a little closer to make it smaller. Whoop. There we go. Okay. And find the spots where she's talking to the camera. So let's see. Right here looks like one of those spots, I think. Nope. Okay, she's talking to the camera right here. So let's see. Also remember, this isn't 1080 for me at least. So I'm going to zoom it out a bit. So I'm going to scale it down. And I believe from 1080 to 720 is actually, it's 67%. So if you want to switch it, go from 100% to 67% of the size, and that's when it'll switch down to that size. So now this is what she's talking about, and I'm just going to use that little tiny section of her talking to the camera. So I'll use my little blade, cut that piece out, and get rid of the rest. And I'll bring this all the way back to where we were talking about the video game. I'll zoom in a bit right there. Oop. And we'll see the video now of her talking to the camera. I'm going to make it switch directly over, like I mentioned before. So let's see how this looks.
Being able to do a cooking show together.
Okay, something like that. Now, the thing is, I don't actually need this transition anymore in that way. I don't want it to just fade this out and suddenly, bam, this one appears. I want it to fade into the new video. So I'll get the new cross dissolve and put it halfway over both. So now it'll slowly transition from one video into the new video. But the thing is, Nate is still appearing underneath. I don't know if you noticed, but right here, you can see all three videos at the same time. We don't want that. We don't want Nate to appear just yet. So I'm still going to do another one of those little blade things. And I'm not going to have Nate appear until like right about here, right before the end. So I will grab the blade, cut right there, and then I grab my little selection tool and go over here and unlink these again like I did before. Okay, and then just delete the video track, leave the audio track here. So now let's see how this looks straight through. If I slowly go through it, also just a reminder, if you want to go frame by frame, you can use the period key to go forward and use the comma key to go backward. They're the little keys on your keyboard that have like little tiny arrows going one way or the other. They're not the arrow keys. They're just the other things. I forgot what they call them. The carrots signs or something. Anyway, you can go forward with the period key. So slowly it shifts into the girl talking to the camera on the cooking show. Then we can go to the cross dissolve over here and drag it on the end of this so that we can slowly dissolve back into Nate's video. So let's see how that one would look right at the end. It'll slowly dissolve into Nate talking again. And so we're now done with this section. I don't know if it'll be smooth, but let's just try it.
Like playing video games together, streaming, Twitch, or being able to do a cooking show together. That's something we hope to do in the future.
Okay, so it chopped weirdly for me because of, once again, I'm streaming. But once we're done, it'll look pretty good. So now let's keep listening and see if we need to add anything else to this video.
In the future, I'm excited to see what ideas that you guys have. One of the things that Eljasz and I often do to keep ourselves busy in the pandemic is that, well, I don't drive because, you know, I'm lame, but he drives. He drives the Mustang, and it's right over there, as you can see. But if you guys have favorite cars, now is the time to edit it into the.
So he's asking us to put a car in the video. I didn't ask him to do this, contrary to popular belief. But anyway, let's just go and find some video of a car, which we will do here as well. You can do a picture if you'd like, but remember, whenever you're making a video, videos are more appealing. So whenever you have the ability to not use a picture, I'd rather you don't use a picture. But the thing is, if something has to be a picture, that's perfectly fine. Use a picture. But it's always better to have something moving on the screen. Even if it's a picture, you want it moving. And I will explain how that works later as well. But if you look at the previous episode of this class, there was that when we were doing the promotion for this masterclass, I had a screenshot of the workspace on the computer. But when I showed the logo of HitFilm, the logo wasn't just static. It wasn't in place. It was slowly zooming into the camera, or into your face, really, as the video played. It's a way of making things seem more appealing, more interesting. Because obviously, if you see the logo coming out, you're like, oh, that's what this is. That's what that means. You know, it's a subconscious thing, but it makes things feel a lot more interesting to see things moving on the screen, even when they're pictures, quote unquote. So anyway, here, let's go find a video of anyone have any specific cars? I don't know, that we want to see, something cool looking. I don't know. Let's do something, you know, so
How about a Lego Bugatti?
okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Lego minivan.
Let's do, okay, so you said the Lego Bugatti. Let's see if there's some like a cool cinematic looking shot of that. So let's see how this, oops, sorry, that's not a YouTube video. It's harder to download not YouTube videos. So let's see what this one is. Oh, that looks less cool than I thought it was. Let's see. Oh, that's 7 hours long. No, thank you. Okay. Oops, that's not YouTube either.
In the Lego Technic team.
I'm going to mute that just for a moment. Whoa. A bunch of things happen in one shot. That was weird. Okay. Life size.
In the Lego Technic team.
Life-size Lego Technic version of the Bugatti Chiron. Okay. So this is a pretty cool, like cinematic shot of things. Let's use it. Let's put it into the video. So I'll copy it. This is technically Lego, but it is a real life car. I think the body was just built with Lego Technics, which is that like really cool version of Lego. That's not really the bricks. It's the other thing. So let's see how this would look when we plug it in. So it's going to give us stuff to download. See more, use the MP4 version always. That's always the best version that we can use. Click download. Remember, we don't care about audio at this point because all the audio that matters right now is Nate talking and eventually music when we decide to put that in. But we don't really need anyone else talking because talking over Nate is kind of weird. You know, he's telling us the information we need to know, not the video, not the other video. So since we downloaded it, that one's taking a little longer to download than I expected, actually. Let me see where that went. Okay. And in the meantime, let's get this part ready. I'm just going to clean this up so that they're all in a row. Okay, so now I have the video over here in my downloads folder. So let's go to my downloads, drag this video again. I'm going to call it car. Cool car. There we go. Okay, so now let's go over here to media and then drag our car clip into the media bin and minimize that. We don't need it right now. I mean, as you can see, like a lot of video editing is repetitive. You do a lot of the same stuff to get different outcomes. Many will say that's the definition of insanity. So we'll see how this works. So let's go grab the car and plug it in up above here somewhere. So let's plug it in. Let's change the size so that it's the correct size. Remember, this is a 1080p video and the videos we're working on is 720. So we'll change this to 67%, which I know is the correct size for this, as you can see right here. If you made it bigger, it would, just zoom in more. If you made it smaller, it would, not fill the screen. So we're going to make it 67%, which is the correct size for that. Now let's hear where he says he wants to talk about the car.
But if you guys have favorite cars, now is the time to edit it into the video because Eljasz just loves cars and he told me specifically that you guys have to add a car to this video. I don't know why.
Okay, so right there is basically where I want it to stop, where he stops talking about cars and we don't need to have a car on screen anymore. So that's a much longer clip. That's fine. So what we'll do is just cut with the blade or the slice tool in that spot, delete all the rest. Now we can zoom out and see what we're left with. Once again, I'm going to do that thing where I take the blade tool and cut a little bit underneath each of these so that we can get rid of the video from underneath so that we can have a nice fade there. This is not needed necessarily unless specific, like it really is needed when you're doing something like this where you don't want your video to appear behind a smaller video. In this case, it's not technically needed, but it also helps speed up processing and exporting. So it kind of helps sometimes to get rid of it because technically it really is underneath there. It's still a video underneath. in your final export, you will never see that part because it's hidden underneath this top video that we have here. But it still exports it and processes it. So it just frees up some stuff if you unlink it and delete the section of video that's there. So now all we have here is Nate talking to the camera. We have his audio, and then the video of the car will be shown
Now
instead.
is the time to edit it into the video because Eljasz just loves cars and he told me specifically that you guys have to add a car to this video. I don't know why. There's so many other things that...
Okay, so now that we have this, I actually think it's pretty cool because the first portion of the clip that we downloaded for the car is actually, it has a cool transition as a part of it. So we still add a cross dissolve, but we'll make it very small because the transition does a lot of the work already. That was already built into their video. So we'll go over here to effects, add our cross dissolve, but make it really small so that it doesn't just suddenly cut to black from Nate's face, but it will have a cool transition there. So as you can see, it fades into Nate's face and then cuts into the video. We're going to do it at the end too, but this one will have to be longer because their video does not have a transition out. It just cuts back to ours. So we'll add our cross dissolve again. And this looks about long enough. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to make this. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong thing. I'm going to actually add a slight cross dissolve on this bottom one too. Because as you could see in the past, it actually just suddenly appeared underneath, which wasn't what we wanted either. So we'll have it fade in as well. See, it's slowly faded in, and there we go. So now let's see where else we need to put something.
I don't know why. There's so many other things that I could tell you to add, but honestly, now it's the time to add your own hobby, some picture or something that you like to do, maybe some video of yourself. This would be the time to insert it while my voice is still going. Do we have enough footage, Eljasz?
I believe we...
Okay, so now we have some special time. What do you guys want to put in there? I don't care. I'll have, I don't know, maybe we can add one thing. We can add three things back to back to back. Just give me some suggestions and we'll put some stuff in there and see what we can do. You can also tell me, hey, do this specific thing and we can try to make it happen. Not necessarily a video being put in there or a picture. We can make things move around. I don't care what you want to do. We'll see if we can do it in basic way. So just tell me some stuff. We'll see what we can do. Yeah. Any ideas? Shout out to my sister for giving me this mug. With great beard comes great responsibility. But anyway, I guess no suggestions. So I'll just go ahead and find something that interests me.
How about a snowball fight?
Okay, we'll get a snowball fight. I wish I took some footage of the snowball fight that we had the other day at North Shore, but I don't have footage of that. So I'll just go on YouTube and find some random people snowball fight. Snowball fight. Let's see. Let's see like a real one with people. So we'll grab that. I don't know who this person is, but that's fine. We'll just take the link and get a little bit of footage from him.
You should choose the one from the elf.
Choose the one from the elf? Okay, we'll do that. That's a good thought. I remember that. Yeah, it's 1 minute. That's very short anyway, too. Perfect. And we'll just use that exact clip right there where it just hit him square on the face. Download link was not found. Let's try that again. See what happens. Sometimes it glitches and it doesn't work. Okay, download link was not found. Let me find here, share. This link might work. Okay, I guess we can't download that one. Sometimes that happens. We can find a different one. I will look up elf snowball fight. There must be other videos. Here, let's try this one. Okay, this one we were able to download. There is a 2160, which is 4K. We're not going to use that. Just let's just use the 1080 or the 720. But remember, we have to use the MP4 version of it. So I'm going to go over here.
Hello? I literally can't hear anything.
I could hear you, Eljasz.
Okay, sorry. Hello? Is this better? Okay, I couldn't hear any.
Yeah.
Sorry. Something weird happened. But currently, are you guys able to hear the video?
This would be the time to insert.
Did that work?
Yes.
It
Yeah.
did? Okay, something weird happened, but okay, now we're good. Sorry about that. If you guys were saying anything within the last 5 minutes, I couldn't hear you. Did you guys say anything? Anyway, we had just imported all this stuff in here. Now we have the snowball fight that we have here. I'm going to shorten this to where he actually gets smacked in the face with the snowball directly. So I'm going to zoom out for a bit. Let's see what this is. Okay, let's see where this is. Well, he's throwing the snowball here, so he must have gotten hit just before this. Okay, I haven't seen this movie in so long. I have to watch it again. That was good. Okay, let's see. Well, you know what? It really doesn't matter what part we do here. If you're editing this video, you can do whatever. But let's do the spot, if I remember correctly, where he's throwing a bunch of snowballs in one shot. Just take that instead. I think it was right here. So let's do the little blade tool, just a couple seconds of it in both directions. And then we'll take this and bring it back in this way. And we will do it where Nate tells us to put it. So we're going to go over here and find a spot.
There's so many other things that I could tell you to add, but honestly, now is the time to add your own hobby, some picture or something that you like to do, maybe some video of yourself. This would be the time to insert it while my voice is still going. Do we have enough footage, Eljasz?
Yep. So that's right where he basically starts talking about something else. So right before he says, do we have enough footage, Eljasz? That's where I'm going to stop this section of video. So once again, we're going to add our dissolves, our cross dissolve to cross in and cross out. So we'll take a look at this whole section and see how it looks.
Edit it into the video because Eljasz just loves cars, and he told me specifically that you guys have to add a car to this video. I don't know why. There's so many other things that I could tell you to add, but honestly, now is the time to add your own hobby, some picture or something that you like to do, maybe some video of yourself. This would be the time to insert it while my voice is still going. Do we have enough footage, Eljasz?
We do.
Wonderful! Now we are done with this video, and I can go back inside.
Okay, so it looks like we're basically done with this whole first section where he's talking about a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to go directly into it. No logo, none of that stuff is needed right now. It goes directly into the video of him talking. Now, we're going to put something in between here. Let's pretend that this was some sort of a promotional video for an event. So let's go find a random flyer for an event online. I don't care what it is. Let's do I don't know. Man, I had something in mind, but I forgot what it was. Let's just say alpha. So Sony came out with a new camera recently. It's the Alpha 1. Okay. Let's put this photo. So let's see. This is the photo of the Sony Alpha A1 mirrorless camera. So it's a cool camera. It's super expensive, way out of my price range. But anyway, I'm going to go over here and just take this picture, drag it into my folder. We're going to use that at the end of this video, just because. Why not? So we'll take it, plug it into our media area. So I'm going to plug it into the media spot. Boop. And now we're going to use it in our video. So just because I feel like like it in this type of video. Let's just have it fade out, and then it fades into the camera, and it's like, wow, this is what's happening with this camera. And then it fades out, and it goes back to him just like running away from the thing. I know the camera makes no sense in the context. I just picked something random. Ideally, it would be something talking about like an event that was happening, like the snowball fight, or when we were like a cooking show or whatever. But I'm just using the camera as a placeholder. It really doesn't matter what it is. But the stuff that you'll learn in this spot is actually kind of important. So like I mentioned before, you want things to move while they're on the screen to make it interactive in a way. So what we're going to do first is just do like we normally do. We're going to have a cross dissolve. You can either do the cross dissolve that fades all the way across, or you can have like a tiny gap and then add a new cross dissolve here. In this case, I'm going to add the one that goes all the way across. So you can just drag it and it'll fade into the new picture right here. Okay, and so that's the picture of the camera. And then it'll also fade out into this one. This is a little long, this section right here, so I'm going to probably make it a little bit shorter. Let's see how long we want it to be. 2, 3, about 3 seconds is pretty good. So I'm going to make it shorter here and then drag this to match this ending, and then add our little cross dissolve here at the end. So it goes back from this thing to Nate running away from the camera and laughing. And then the video will just end with another cross dissolve right here. Okay, and we're going to also use a fade just to make sure that we fade it in correctly and fading out correctly. I'm going to make the fade a little bit shorter so it matches the length of this. It doesn't have to, like I mentioned before, but it can work. And then it'll fade out here at the end so that it just fades to black. Okay, so now we're going to mess with the movement of this image. So this is something special. It's called keyframing. Okay, it's a little bit more of an advanced technique, and HitFilm can do a really good job of it, but it is a little complicated to get complicated maneuvers. But making something zoom in simply is not hugely complicated. So what we'll do is, I think it should start at this size, and by the end of the video, I want it to be this size roughly. Okay, so I'm going to go over here at the beginning, the first frame. It has to be the exact first frame. So I'm going to go over here and use my my comma and period keys to move it around. So I'm going to go to the first frame right here and make sure it's clicked down. Go to my controls, and I'm going to go over here to scale. And as you notice, we've been mostly moving this around, which we will move that around some more. But we're going to actually click this little circle. That's called a keyframe. It'll start keyframing. So you click that, and that lets it know that at the beginning of this this frame, it is 100% of its size. Now, we're going to fast forward all the way to the end of the section that we have for the video, for the camera thing. So I'm going to just hold this down and get right to the end. And at the exact ending, I actually want it to be larger. I want it to be this size. And just because I changed it right there, now, if I slowly do this, as you can see, it's slowly shrinking because I'm going backward. But in reality, if we go forward, it'll actually slowly get larger as we see it on the screen. So as you can see there, slowly got larger, and then it fades out. Now another thing, just to note, it looks a little weird because, look, it fades in and it's like not moving at all, and then suddenly it starts moving again. So we don't actually want that. We want to make sure that it's even moving while it's getting bigger, while it fades in. So I'm actually going to just remove these cross dissolves. I'm actually going to bring this up and out, and now I'm going to bring this back a little bit. Okay, and this is just so that we can edit it, and then I will bring it back in there in a moment. Okay, it's a little weird, but it'll work. Trust me on this. So we click this here. I'm going to remove the original keyframes that we did. So I deleted them all. Now if I change this, it doesn't actually change size. So I'm just going to keep it at 100% first of all. And now we'll go back to the first frame again, but this is the new first frame. Okay, so this is the first frame right here. I'm going to start the keyframing again. So scale happens again. It's 100% right here. And remember, by the end of this, we want it to be whatever size we think is best. So in this case, let's just make it 100 and let's do 150. Let's see how that is. Okay, so like I said before, it'll slowly shrink or get bigger really because we're playing it forward. Now what we can do is actually just shorten this again like this and bring it back in if we want to do that. And now we can add the crossfade. I mean, not the crossfade, sorry, the cross dissolve. And because now we did all that editing there, before this starts right here, if you look at this thing, we edited it, we had and lengthened it to here so that we already have the keyframing starting from earlier on. Now, if we play it, it should slowly start to get bigger as it's crossfading. Okay, and then same thing as it's ending, it continues to get bigger even while we are fading out. So that it is always moving on the screen. Okay, so that's just one way to show how this works. You see that? So that can be a very advanced thing, but the way that we did it is very simple. There are ways to make things like fly and move around on the screen, but HitFilm can be a little bit picky with that. But if you want any like another tutorial about that, I can go into it a little bit deeper, or you can look up videos online. There's a lot of stuff out there to help you. But anyway, so now we've got that. We can now zoom in and make it look cool. Now the last thing I think we should add is music. So let's go ahead and find a song online, something that is royalty free, because especially if you like post a video, the thing is it's weird. So you can take clips and videos, like visual clips from anything pretty much, and people won't really care as much if you use their clips, especially since you're talking about their stuff, right? You're not using it as if it's your own clip. But audio, on the other hand, it's hard to tell people that, hey, I'm not using it as my own audio. Like it just doesn't really make sense. So you have to find something that either one you made, which is perfectly fine, you can make your own music, or find something that is royalty free. So the idea is that yes, someone owns the rights to that music, but it's not music that like YouTube will say you can't make money off of this music, or you're not allowed to use this music in your video. So like say, for example, if I decided to go and grab like a like a Taylor Swift song and put it behind this, I would have to pay royalties to Taylor Swift. And in that case, I also wouldn't be able to make money on the video that I posted because it's her song there, right? But you can get music that is royalty free, so music that you're able to make money or monetization on in a video. So let's go and just find something random like that. Once again, we're going to go back to YouTube and let's find something that kind of matches the theme here. So let's do right here. Let's find like what type of genre of music do you think matches this video? Something like upbeat maybe, or was it mysterious? I don't know. Anyone have any thoughts related to that? Yes, no, maybe so. Also, where did my Zoom thing go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, you guys still can hear me, right? Cool. Anyway, so I'll just find some music. Let's find something that matches this. Let's just say upbeat advertise music. No copyright or royalty free. It doesn't really matter. Let's just find something that works. Okay. So it says find an upbeat background music for advertising views, royalty free commercial use. Perfect. Let's go use it. Let's see how this sounds. That's cool, but I think it's too much for our video. So let's go find something right here. Modern upbeat, royalty free. Well, while I'm not sure if this one exactly matches the video, this is close enough, so let's work with it. Let's see what happens. So we'll go to that same thing, y2mate.guru, but remember, we don't need the video for this one, so we don't have to worry about any of the video file types that are available. Just click Get Audio. It'll take a moment, and then you can just click Download Audio, and it will download the full file for you in a few moments. And now once that's there, we can click Download MP3, and it downloads. You're going to put it into your file folder once again, so I'm going to drag it over here. The name is fine, but you can name it whatever you want. I normally don't rename my stuff, but I've just been renaming things to make it clearer for us to watch, to edit together. So I go to Media right here. I'm going to reopen this, and I'm going to drag it in here. Again, a lot of clicking and dragging. And then I'll drag this audio down below the video audio so that now we have the music track along with the video audio. But I know for a fact, most of the time, audio from music is very loud. So let's listen. The music is way louder than his voice. So what I'm going to do is lower the volume for the music by using this little white bar. Lower it a bit. And now you can hear, let's see how it sounds.
I'm out here in the freezing.
That's too low. You can't even hear the music. So I'm going to raise it up a bit. Let's see how that sounds.
Cold to give you a video for homework. That's right. You guys have to edit this video. I don't know why Eljasz is dragging.
I think that sounds a lot better. Let's hear how it sounds from the beginning.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again. I'm out here.
Okay. I feel like this video starts way before the music does. So I'm going to cut it the music shorter over here and bring it to the beginning, so that it starts at the same time the video starts.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again. I'm out here in the...
Actually, to make it even better, I think, I'll highlight everything over here. Sorry, everything that we have, which is all of this, pretty much. Yeah, that's everything. And I'm actually going to drag this so that it starts, the video starts right at the peak of when this music enters, so that we have it like comes in with the music.
Hey there, everyone.
Okay, so I was just a little bit late on that one. Let's see how this would sound if I did it right, actually. I have to make sure everything is highlighted, except for that one track on the bottom. I'm going to zoom in a bit right here and bring this back a tad. And see how this one sounds.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan.
I think that's a lot better.
I'm out.
So let's hear how that sounds with the music.
To give you a video for homework. That's right. You guys have to edit this video. I don't know why Eljasz is dragging me out here again. There's so many other videos that we filmed that honestly would be better for editing. For example, there have been those times where we traveled out to the lake and been able to take some beautiful shots over there. We did a video over there. There's other videos actually that we have planned for the future. For example, like playing video games together, streaming Twitch, or being able to do a cooking show together. That's something we hope to do in the future. I'm excited to see what ideas that you guys have. One of the things that Eljasz and I often do to keep ourselves busy in the pandemic is that, well, I don't drive because, you know, I'm lame. But he drives. He drives the Mustang, and it's right over there, as you can see. But if you guys have favorite cars, now is the time to edit it into the video, because Eljasz just loves cars, and he told me specifically that you guys have to add a car to this video. I don't know why. There's so many other things that I could tell you to add, but honestly, now is the time to add your own hobby, some picture or something that you like to do, maybe some video of yourself. This would be the time to insert it while my voice is still going. Do we have enough footage, Eljasz? Wonderful! Now we are done with this video, and I can go back inside. You're not. Get over it. Yeah, okay.
So I think that's a good spot in the song to stop too. It'll be a nice fade out, so I'll just cut it there. Delete the rest. Go over to my effects, do the fade again, and grab a, well, actually this time, I will grab a regular fade because it'll fade to 0 rather than fade to something else, which technically I guess it is 0, but let's just use a regular fade and see how that one sounds. It'll fade all the way from when the video fades out, and it'll slowly fade till it's 0. So let's see how that sounds.
You see how it got quieter and quieter until it disappeared. I think that worked. I think this matched. There's one thing that I did notice that was kind of weird. When we went from this video into the video game thing, it faded in, and then suddenly Nate disappeared. So what we can do is actually instead add a crossfade for Nate to disappear slowly rather than instantly. So let's go grab the cross dissolve. I keep saying crossfade, but it's cross dissolve. Over here, add it to the end of this video, make it shorter so that it matches. So now he will fade out rather than suddenly disappear. Same thing over here at the end of this section. We're going to do it as well so that he fades in rather than suddenly appears. So let's do that. Shorten this so it matches the length of the fade over there. And let's see how this looks. Slowly fades. Oops. It'll look better when we export. But slowly, and then he's there. It works. Okay, so now that we have this, we have pretty much everything I think we really need in this video for something simple like this. So, you know, we've got Nate's name, we've got the on the lake, walking on the lake, walking on water. We've got the video game, we've got the cooking channel, we've got the car, and we have the snowball fight from Elf, and then we have the random poster of a camera, just because, and then we have the funny gag that we have at the end, and then it fades out and music's done. Okay, so now how do you export? I went over this last time, but thank you, OT, for actually figuring something out for me. I don't use HitFilm often, mostly because I subscribe to Premiere Pro, and I love that program. HitFilm is great because it's similar to Premiere Pro, but there are some weird differences, such as, for example, in order to export, you actually have to drag this little gray thing right here. So for you, it might be like a tiny, tiny bar, like right there at the corner. But for me, it might also be this way for you. But it's this little gray thing. Go ahead and hover over it when the little two arrow things appears, and then drag it so that it matches with the end of your video. So we can zoom in a little bit more and leave like an extra frame at the end just so that it has time to fade down and make it match there. Now that we have that, we can go over up here to export in the top viewer area. Click export there. Make sure that your preset is set to 720p HD. Facebook, it doesn't really matter. It's just an example of where you would post it to. And since our videos are in 720p HD, we can click that and work with 720p HD. It just occurred to me there was something here that I didn't show you, but you know what? I'll show it to you next class. That's fine. Anyway, we've got here 720p HD. That's what we're going to export in. So what we're going to do here is now in the timeline area, top right of it, you can go to export, go down to export now and click content. And then it will start exporting things. Your speed can vary. For me, honestly, I don't know how long it's going to take for me. It'll be relatively quick, but I am streaming, so things take a bit longer than they normally would. But you can see like in the little preview window where it is in the export process. Sometimes that helps. In the case of like exporting like a huge video, you'll know where it failed if it fails. They don't normally fail, but sometimes it can, especially with like special effects or weird things happening. It might happen that way. So we'll see. But anyway, it's 27% done with the video. The way that this exports, it exports directly to your desktop under a folder that it creates called HitFilm Express. So if I take a look at it right now, we'll see that this file is actually right here. It's being loaded into here. Once it's done, it'll become a file that we can play and watch together. But yeah, I mean, in the meantime, it's still exporting, but I just want to mention that we are almost done. We're going to just watch this just to make sure how it goes. If you have any questions, please ask me. And also, if you haven't done the homework that I gave last week, please do it this week. A lot of stuff that we learned today actually can help with last week's thing. I don't have anything for this week to give out yet, but if you're interested, I have a sort of contest that we're going to be doing this next week, starting Tuesday. Tuesday night, I'll send out a video for the promotion for the next masterclass that we will be having, which is not video editing. This one's finishing next week. Next week is the last class. But we're going to have a promotion video for a masterclass on scripting and video presence. So Nate, who you saw in this video, he's going to be mainly leading that. I'll be helping him at the end so that we can combine the skills that you learned from video and scripting and camera presence. So that's what that masterclass will be about. That will take place in March. So we're doing these monthly. So February was video editing. March is going to be scripting and camera presence. April is going to be something else. We'll see. Anyway, now this video actually finished editing. As you can see, exporting, it appeared here. Cool. It's done. Now you can watch it, post it wherever, whatever the case might be. Anyway, in regards to the promotion for the next masterclass, my job for you is that I think it would be best if you edited that video. So Nate and I are going to record that promotion video. I'm going to give you all the materials to be able to do it, but I want you to edit it. And my favorite edit, so whoever edits the best or edits the way that I like it the best, that is the one that we will use for the promotion of that masterclass. So we will post it to wherever we decide to post it to. We will show it in church, whatever it might be. We'll do that. Make sure to put your name at the end of it so that people know that you're the one that made it and that you won the contest, quote unquote. So have fun with it. Be creative, but also try to use the stuff that you learned in this class. Anyway, now that we're done with this, I'm going to click on this and just right click it and click remove task or remove finished tasks. If you had a bunch of tasks there, go over here to viewer. And then we're gonna save this just to make sure that we still have our file in case we want to go back to it. I'm gonna close out of it because I don't need it anymore. And I'm gonna open this editor and see how the final product looks. So let's go take a look at it, maximize it, and see what happens.
Hey there, everyone. It's Nathan again. I'm out here in the freezing cold to give you a video for homework. That's right, you guys have to edit this video. I don't know why Eljasz is dragging me out here again. There's so many other videos that we filmed that honestly would be better for editing. For example, there have been those times where we traveled out to the lake and been able to take some beautiful shots over there. We did a video over there. There's other videos actually that we have planned for the future. For example, like playing video games together, streaming, Twitch, or being able to do a cooking show together. That's something we hope to do in the future. I'm excited to see what ideas that you guys have. One of the things that Eljasz and I often do to keep ourselves busy in the pandemic is that, well, I don't drive because, you know, I'm lame, but he drives. He drives the Mustang and it's right over there, as you can see. But if you guys have favorite cars, now is the time to edit it into the video because Eljasz just loves cars and he told me specifically that you guys have to add a car to this video. I don't know why. There's so many other things that I could tell you to add, but honestly, now is the time to add your own hobby, some picture or something that you like to do, maybe some video of yourself. This would be the time to insert it while my voice is still going. Do we have enough footage, Eljasz? If we do, thank you. Wonderful. Now we are done with this video, then I can go back inside. You're not. Get over it. Get over it.
So that's the video. I think it ended up pretty well, pretty good. Obviously, I had no reason for making this video besides just showing you. I mean, this is not going anywhere, so it's not like it has to have a certain meaning behind it. But just a random thing, just for fun, and just to show you how to edit in that way. So basically, that's the end of class today. Please ask me questions right now if you have them. If not, look out for the email that I'm going to be sending probably Tuesday night. If not Tuesday night, then Wednesday morning, because I'm going to be recording that video for the next masterclass on Tuesday. That's the next day I'm available for that. So I'll send that out and try to get it to you guys so that you guys can edit it. Also, in the meantime, please check out last week's homework so that you guys can be caught up and see what happens. Also, remember to make it next week to the last session of this masterclass, Sunday, the 21st, I believe, at 5 p.m. I hope to see you all there. So if you have any questions, now is the time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you all for coming. It's very cool to have the opportunity to do this. Any questions at all, or things you want me to cover in next week's episode? Actually, I do actually want ideas of what you guys want to know, because this is pretty much like a lot of the basics. There's one more thing I can probably tell you that's relatively basic, that it's pretty cool, and I think you guys would have a lot of use for it in certain cases. But any other things, just like name something. Oh, I saw that this person did this in a video. I was wondering how to do that. Maybe you can ask me that question, and I can.
I have a question.
Do it. What's up?
How do you get the name? You know, like we said, Nathan V. How do you get that to kind of like maybe scroll across or like fly across the bottom of the screen?
Good question. Good question. Okay, so let's go over that. That also has to do with keyframing. It's very similar to the Zoom thing that I was doing with that logo or the picture. Except instead of changing the scale of the video, you're changing the position of the video, which is really just text. So I accidentally opened it up in HitFilm Pro, but you know what? That's fine. It's relatively the same for the basic stuff. So I'm just going to share my screen and show you with the Pro background. It's pretty much the same, though. So here, go ahead and take a look here with Nathan V that appears on the screen. So I'm going to go over here to the beginning. The first frame, let's say I wanted to take, and this is where I just do like random thoughts on like how to get it like on the thing. I personally think when you're doing in 23 point something whatever, it should take about 7 frames for text to appear on the screen. So I'm going to fast forward 7 frames into the text thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm also going to remove the cross dissolve because we don't need it because it's going to be off the screen. And same at the end. It's going to be gone. So I moved in here, 7 frames into the thing. Go to controls. I'm going to turn on the position button. Okay, and now because I have that, I can move this around. So this is going to be on screen in this spot. So 7 frames before that, it's going to be off screen completely. So I'm going to just move it off. So now if you see, 7 frames later, it appears on screen. Okay, and it moves across that way. So now over the course of this video, it's going to also be moving slowly across the screen. So I will show you that in a moment. I'm going to go over here to the end, and 7 frames before the end, I want to add different type of slowly moving across things. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. 7 frames before the end. What just happened? This meeting is still going on. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to finish up soon. But anyway, so 7 frames before the end, I'm going to add a different position. So I'm going to actually move this across the screen so that it kind of just disappears later on. So it's going to move it's going to move from here at the beginning of the video to right about here at this section of the video. And then 7 frames after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's going to move from there all the way off the screen. So now if we look through it slowly, it's going to go from off the screen to that spot. Then slowly as the video goes along, it's going to slowly move. And then in the last moments of the video, of that text section, it's going to just disappear off the screen. So it looks sometimes it looks kind of cool doing this. It's not always cool to use this specific way of doing things. But
everyone, it's Nathan again. I'm out here in the freezing cold.
As you can see, that you were able to slide it onto the screen and then let it slowly move and then slide it off the screen at the end of the text box. Does that answer the question?
Yes. Yeah, very much. That was cool. Thank you.
Cool. Good. I'm glad. Also, just a reminder, you can actually do multiple keyframing things at the same time. So you can do position and scale all at the same time. The only thing that I have a little trouble with in HitFilm is re-editing the keyframes after the fact. I still have to find a way to do that It's been a while since I've done it in here. In Premiere Pro, I know exactly where it is and it's easy. But in here, I edit it. Like now I have it, like it goes in and it comes out, but I don't know how to go back and edit it unless I undo it all, because I don't see where it is visually, which it could be, yeah, because normally it would be under position. It could also be under, like these are all keyframing tools right here, but I can't see like the keyframe position visually. Yeah, I don't know where it is. If you guys find it, let me know, and I can show you how it works better. Because I mean, I know more how to do this in a different program, but this is the idea. It'll show on the screen, and then it'll disappear at the end. Any other questions? It could be related to this, could be something else related to the video. I'll show you how that works, or try to at least. No other questions? Okay then. So next week we will come together and we will watch people's videos if they finished the promotion video for the next next masterclass. But also next week I will teach you how to make a higher frame rate video look slow motion in a lower frame rate timeline. So as an example, here I will just show you how that would look. I'm not going to show you how to edit it yet. I'll do that next week. But this is something that you will be able to do at the end of next week. So here, take a look at this video. So if you remember the frozen lake video that that we used for this video, it has inside it some spots where I recorded something in a higher frame rate, and then I slowed it down in the 23 frames per second timeline to make it look like it's slow motion. So right here where we have the guys walking on the water or on the lake, if I can, oh, I don't know why I did that, but anyway, let me find the spot. All of this stuff right here, what if I share the screen, was in slow motion. So if you see, this one was relatively normal frame, but this one is slow motion. As you can see, they're walking much slower than people normally walk. So you'll be able to do something like that and not make it look choppy. So I think that's a pretty cool skill to have, especially if you're just doing things on your phone and you wanted to, like, I don't know, slow it down for an Instagram post and say, wow, look at this. Look how this car crashed into that wall. A video that I have of it, and I'll show you how to slow it down so that you can actually see it slowly without chopping it up. So anyway, that's part of what will happen next week, and I hope to see you all there. Okay? I'm going to stop recording now.